Alright everybody, welcome back. Another episode of the Avery Project. Today I'm going to be working on something a little bit different. I'm working on my grandma's truck. I'm going to be doing a transmission, filter, and fluid change. And then I will be pulling the BMW in for split minute to lock down on a bolt underneath that I've got to get tightened up for some reason. It's being a little hesitant with me and not wanting to go on proper, so I'm going to have to put a little force into it. But anyway, today I'm going to be working on a Dodge. It's a 1999. You can see that it's a 4x4. It's the 3/4 ton, I believe. It's the Ram 2500. It's got the 5.8 liter or 5.9 liter Magnum V8 engine in it. Like I said, I'm going to be changing out the transmission filter and fluid. And as you can see, I got my drain pan. So I'll bring you guys back in a minute when I'm up. Oh wait, well first, the bolts underneath are 13 millimeter, so I'll be using a 13 millimeter ratchet, whatnot, to get that off. And like I said, I'll bring you guys back in a minute when I'm up underneath the vehicle and I'm starting to work on it. Alright, well, under the car we go. Wiggling. Alright. Here we are. Under the truck. Alright, here's the bolts that we're taking out. 13 millimeter, fits on them nice and snug. I take them out all the way around. Pop it off. And it should take roughly only 4 liters. Or 4 quarts, as the guy says. At least that's what he told the person, my grandma, when she picked the stuff up for it. That it uses 4 liters. Or quarts. Sorry, liters, quarts, they're different. But as you guys can see, this is what I'm taking off. I'm having a hard time moving around down here. That's why I need a lift. So that way it makes this job way easier. But as you guys can see, that's what I gotta take out. So I'll bring you guys back in a minute, because under here where I'm at, it's easier just for me to stop it, turn it back on to show you guys, because it's kinda hard to do a time-lapse video under here. So I'll bring you guys back in a minute and show you guys. And here's my grandma scraping her tranny pan down, getting the old gasket off. As you can tell, they use an old cork gasket. And this is what we're going to be using, the rubber gasket. Getting down dirty on that, scraping them right down. Might have to spray a lubricant on there or something to soften it up a little bit to get it to come off a little easier. Yeah. That way we're not dinging it all up.
I think probably if I go get some gas maybe.
Yeah, some gas. Well, the I don't know.
Maybe this carburetor cleaner.
Yeah, carburetor cleaner should work. It should. If not, pretty sure somebody will post it on my comment saying, oh, I shouldn't use that. So, you know.
Get it cleaned up.
Yeah, and you can smell it. Anyway, there was 14 of those bolts that were in there holding that on. 13 millimeter. They were only snugged on. They broke off real easy. I was expecting a little bit of a struggle, and they weren't. They didn't have Loctite on them like what mine do, surprisingly enough. And I made a little bit of a mess, if you can tell, down in there. But as they say, it's for the greater good. Gotta get it done, you know. And here's what we got up underneath. Oh, these batteries are gonna die in this too. Well, I guess. nothing lasts forever. But I do gotta check, because there's a couple little indentations here that I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a screw in that or not. But before I just go and start trying to yank stuff off, I do want to make sure not to be breaking anything, because this is the first time I've ever been up underneath, had this opened. Yep, there's two little ones in there. So I'll have to figure out what they are so we can get it done. And I ain't got a good area for lighting right this minute. Try to grab me a small range. See what we got. Oh, it's smaller than that even, and that's a, what size is that? Oh, that's a 3/8. Smaller than a 3/8. No, this could be fun. I can't foresee that that's bigger than that. Oh. Alright, well, I'm wrong. It's those star bit ones, and I don't think we got any of those ones here. Well, either way, I'll bring you guys back in a second once I get it off. I'll show you guys what bolts it was I pulled out of in there. So hold tight, I'll be back. I don't want that in my face. Stay away. It's gonna get all over me. Oh, there goes that one. And there's that one. Oh. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's what I get for having a bad shoulder. Don't work the way I want it to all the time. Alright, well, bolts are out. They're long, and those were a T25 that I had used to pull them out. So I'll go ahead and I'll bring you guys back on in a minute when I'm ready to get everything installed. I want to clean all the stuff first, get it all cleaned up a little bit. Don't need a bunch of this tranny fluid dripping on me and getting in my eyes. Has a tendency to burn a little. And I got, there it is. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'll bring you guys back in a minute when I'm ready to install all of it, and Grandma's got that filter of hers scraped off from there. I may have to do a little scraping by the looks of it. There's a little bit of filter on the bottom of this. Little pieces here and there. It'll be a quick clean though for this side. So I'll bring you guys back in a few. Alright, you guys can tell, transmission pan's been cleaned out. I already got the filter up under there. I'll show you guys that in a second. That's a T25 when you put the filter into it. As you can see, the rubber seal's on. I've actually got all my bolts in it, which is helping hold the filter in place, and surprisingly enough, the holes are small enough that they're holding my bolts in. So I'm going to crawl up under there. I'm going to put this in. There's 14 bolts. You want to snug them up nice and tight. You ain't got to go extreme on it because they are going into aluminum. You don't want to strip them out. So I'll go ahead and bring you guys back in a second after I get this put up in there, and I'll show you guys how I'm gonna get the transmission fluid in through the dipstick. Back in a minute. Well, not gonna be the best angle, but who knows? They get it. Hit somebody over across the road somewhere shooting. Probably target practice or something. Yeah. Sounds like. Yeah, I gotta make sure that that rifle's sighted in for hunting time. You wanna actually come over and hold this? I was thinking that it was gonna be alright. Alright, now at the auto stores they say that 4 quarts should fill it if all you're doing is changing out your filter and cleaning out your pan. It should only take 4 quarts. So we're gonna find out. We got 4 quarts here. I'm gonna start by pouring them in. We're gonna see what happens. And yeah, I'm pouring it through the where the tranny filter stick is, because that's the only way to fill these. This one. I looked. There wasn't nowhere else to put it. So anybody wants to say anything, they can comment. You know, down below. Tell me what you guys think about this craziness. I was gonna have my grandma do it all. Just record her doing it and make a cool little video of old people changing stuff, but figured
You're a young man.
Stuff like that happens. Here's quart number 2. Down the hatch. Little makeshift one, as you can tell. Someone used a windshield wiper fluid bottle with the end of a bigger one, which did not come from here because obviously I can't find the other half. I would have used the normal one if that were the case. But some cousins, you know how that saying goes. Some people's kids. So in this case, it's some cousins.
Well, that's number 3.
Yep.
In case you can't count.
No, I almost forgot. I was like, well, let's just keep adding until I can't find any more.
I'm gonna add. Here, this old woman knows that this is number 4.
Well, it's a good thing you're counting, because I wasn't. I understand Dodge and Chrysler, but why couldn't you get one that said Dodge? No, I'm joking.
Same product.
So they say. Alright, well, this is 4 quarts. I have to crawl underneath and make sure I got everything snugged underneath. I forgot to bring my torque wrench over to torque the bolts down. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's like 7 or 8 pound worth of torque per bolt. I think that's standard for most transmission cases. But if you guys actually know, go ahead. Like I said, put it in the comments. The more I know, the better. Less work I have to do next time around. If I already know the information, I ain't got to worry about it. There's that. I need a rag real quick. Is there... Probably not sitting right there, is there? That'll do. And you can tell, rag ain't got to be spiffy. It's got to be a rag. Alright, hopefully, as long as I did everything right, you didn't have a problem. But this is me we're talking about, and you guys have seen me mess some stuff up, I'm sure of it. Yeah, so far so good. Heck, except for that. Running boards, don't have them on this side, what do you know? Like, move this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna need a good clean rag for the dipstick. Show off that engine, huh? It's nice looking old V8 99. Oh, I think I drank that can of Coke a little bit too quick or something. Got the hiccups. My drink of choice. You don't catch me drinking anything else. Unless it's, what was that other stuff I had this morning?
There you go.
Cream soda.
Fago, there you go. Fago. And no, I'm not going to start singing an ICP song, so. Too bad anybody was hoping. As you can tell, the training fluid's sitting up nice on the stick. He said, you grabbed 5, right? Good. We're going to put 5 in, not 4. Because it's not all the way up on the... Well, then no. We're going to want to put in another quart because once it warms up... Is it thin out or is it getting more... I don't know. We'll start the vehicle up and let it run for a few minutes and then we'll check the fluid and go from there. If I need to put another quart in it, then I'll add another quart. We're going to play this one by ear, folks. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy this little video. I know it's not for my BMW, but it is automotive. If you guys liked it, if it helped you out in any way, shape, or form, make sure you guys hit the like button. Share this with everybody. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And yeah, until next time, you guys, peace out.